Welcome to my channel, Cat Scout Mountain Homebody. My name's Amy. Oh, and I'm here with Chipper. Come on, Chippy. And Scout. They have to say hello.
Yeah, you get your handsome face. I do love you so much. You're so good.
Oh, Chipper's getting jealous. Let's let Chipper up too. Come on. There's Chipper. Chipper loves me too. Chipper can't be left out ever. All right, it's just me and the pups today. Joe and Julius are not home. It's a Sunday afternoon. I have the whole house to myself. I'm hanging out with my puppies. And I thought, let me do a new video on my television room, my TV room. Because way back when I started my channel, way back a year and a half ago, wasn't that long ago, I did do a quick video tour of the TV room. But my earliest videos weren't great, and I think it needs to be redone. So I'm going to do a more updated tour of my television room. Plus, I have more subscribers now than I had when I posted that first video. All right, so let's go to the front door, and I'll show you where my TV room is. All right, so this is the view when you come in the front door. I know this house is a farmhouse. It was designed as a farmhouse, but it's really set up like a colonial house. It's not a modern, total open floor plan. It is set up more like an older colonial / farmhouse. So when you walk in, you'll see Scout. Now you'll see my hall tree, which I decorate for different seasons. And this is the coat closet. I'm very excited about the coat closet because in my last house, I had a very small coat closet that, because of lack of storage, I had to put a lot of things in there, including decorations. This is actually just a coat closet, so it's nice to have strictly a coat closet. And then you'll see the stairs to go upstairs, and then you'll look down and you'll see there's Chipper. And to the left is my living room. So when you walk in, you can get a pretty open view of the living room. I have my grandfather clock against this wall here. Joe gave me that grandfather clock on our 5th wedding anniversary, which is the wood anniversary. I talked about that grandfather clock in other videos. All right, so there is the living room. And you can walk two ways, right? You can either go through this doorway into the kitchen, or you can walk around the kitchen through the coffee bar area. On the right-hand side is a little room. And I don't really like the dogs in here when I'm not home. So I usually keep this door closed during the day, unless I'm going to watch TV. So a lot of people, when they come in, they don't even realize there's a room there because I keep the door closed. And so people come in and they just go right past this room into the kitchen. And this is the powder room right off the kitchen. And then people usually just walk right into my kitchen. But what people miss is the TV room. So here's a funny story. My brother has been to this house a few times. And the last time he was here was Thanksgiving. And they wanted to watch football. And so my brother asked me, do you have a television? Because he never saw television anywhere else in my house. And I said, yeah, in the TV room. And he's like, where's the TV room? And I showed him and he's like, I never even knew this room was here. Every time he came in, he walked past this door. He didn't even realize there was a room in there. I think he thought it was a closet. So yes, that's my TV room. All right, so let's open this door and I'll show you the TV room. So it's a nice wooden pocket door that opens up into the TV room. So this is how the TV room looks when you're looking at it from the hallway. It's a fairly small room. It's not a very large room. And we had this fan, country looking fan with a light built in. We had that installed. So it's actually a fan. You can see the fan blades. So it's a little bit of a modern looking light, but it actually works kind of well because of the metals in the fan. It kind of looks, it looks modern, but it still looks fits in this country house. Okay, so I'll just show you from the floor up. I do have a little dog bed in here for the dogs. They like to eat their bone in that bed when I'm sitting in here watching TV. The floors are kind of like a wide plank, reclaimed wood floor. And I got this bee rug from rugs.com, I think. And I just thought it looked cute in here. Very country and warm. But it definitely needed a rug in here, just to kind of warm up the room. Alright, so yes, this is where our TV is. Where we watch TV. Alright, before I go into like the actual tour of the room, I wanted to talk about why I made this the TV room. So I had a lot of choices when we moved into this house of where we were going to put a TV. I did want a TV on the main level of the home. However, let's go in the living room and I'll show you why I didn't put the TV in there. Okay, so we're in the living room. Oh, the dogs are making themselves comfortable on the couch. All right, so this is the living room, and it's a fairly long rectangular room. And at the end, there is window seating built in. The previous owners, who were the ones who built the house, had a TV connection on this wall. So I assume at some point they had a TV on this wall next to the fireplace. So they had the fireplace as a focal point, and then they had a TV. And so the way they had the room set up was they had like a lounge chair here set up so that you could sit in a lounge chair and I guess watch TV or look out the window and read a book. They had a game table. We have a game table here too. They had a game table set up here too. And then they had two couches pretty much set up where I have my couch and chairs on either side of the fireplace. So they had a focal point of discussion, kind of discussion area around the fireplace, which is what I did also. However, I did not want the television to be on this wall competing with the fireplace. The other thing is this room is open up to the stairs. So if someone's upstairs trying to rest, let's say someone's sick, I didn't want to be down here blaring the television so that they could hear it upstairs. There's no way to close a door off. This room is open up. I have my dining room on this side. So there's absolutely no way to watch TV in here and not disrupt everybody on the first floor and upstairs of the home. So I did not want the TV in here. And I also don't want two seating areas facing the same wall. So the other thing is, if you look at the fireplace, there is no room for a television above this fireplace. It's a very, very narrow space between the mantle and the ceiling. Plus there's a beam in the way. But again, I didn't want the TV in here anyway, so even if there was room for a television above the fireplace, I wouldn't have put it there. So you might wonder, well, what am I using this big room for? I literally sit in this room every night on that couch with the pups, and Joe usually sits in this chair on his phone. Just ignore, the wind is blowing around a banner I have on the front door for Valentine's Day. So that's the banging that you hear in the background of this video. All right, so Joe and I like to sit in here every night. I snuggle with the dogs on the couch, and I like to listen to podcasts on my phone. And my favorite podcasts are ghost podcasts. So I come in here at night, and I listen to spooky stories, podcast stories with the dogs. And that usually is after dinner, when the dogs are tired, they're ready for bed, and they're ready to snuggle down on the couch with their mommy. Joe likes to sit on the couch sometimes too and look at his phone. He'll sometimes sit in here while I'm working on dinner and look at his phone. Or sometimes when I'm sitting in here, again, Joe will join me. So Joe and I do use this room frequently. I mean, most nights I'm sitting in here. So it's not a room that's just sitting empty. It is a room we sit in quite often and enjoy. That's why I decorate it so much. Plus, it's the first room you see when you walk in my house. All right, so that's why, this is the reason why I didn't want a television in this room. I did think in the beginning, maybe I should make that TV room the dining room and make this a TV area. But the bad thing about this front room is that there's no door. So again, if somebody was watching television in here, it would be way too loud. The other thing is my dining room furniture will not all fit in the television room, so this is pretty much the only option I had for a dining room. So I think it worked out well that we have this little dining room in the front of the house, open up to the living room, and no television in here. I decided to use this small room as a television room. First of all, it's great, it has a door. So if I'm watching television and Joe's upstairs sleeping, all I have to do is close this door and he can't hear it upstairs. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted the television kind of tucked away. It's nice to have that privacy. And sometimes if somebody is watching television late at night and I've gone to bed, they can close the door and I don't hear the television. So it is nice to have the television in a closed off room. But the other thing is, it's so cozy in here. And this is such a nice place to kind of sit in, cozy up on the couch and watch a movie. Let's talk about the furniture. I mentioned this in my last video on my television room. This furniture is probably 22 years old. We bought it in California when we were first married, and Julius was a little kid. He was probably 2 years old when we bought this furniture. So it is dated, but it's very, very comfortable. So we have this big armchair, which is very comfortable. You could even lie in it if you wanted to. And it has this wood accent on it, which is what I liked about it. It's very comfortable. And then it has a matching couch. Again, this is not new. It's 20 years old. My sister gave me that maroon blanket, which I thought went well in here. This couch, I don't want to get rid of it because it is so comfortable. Every morning I come in here and I watch the Today Show. Oh, Chipper's eating his bone. What a shock. I'm making a video and he's eating his bone. And I have this matching table. It's a double-decker table. So it's a glass top. Joe made this snowman bowl in his woodworking shop. And I painted it. So we put that out in the winter. And then on the bottom shelf, I just have some books and a photo box. This is my current cross-stitch project that I talked about in an earlier video. I'm working on a banner. And I stitch in here with the dogs while I watch TV. And I do have in the corner a cross-stitch light magnifier. So this is great because it has a light. And I can look through this magnifying glass and I can see my cross stitch because my eyesight's not as good as it was when I was 20. So I sit here, I look at my cross stitch through my magnifying glass with the light, and I cross stitch. So I always keep this light here to the side. It's just nice to have. It's also good for reading. Sometimes when I'm reading in here and I forgot my glasses, I'll just read through my magnifying light. Chipper and Scout love this room also. But I don't like them in here when I'm not paying attention because I don't want them to ruin anything in here. Let me talk about the artwork in here a little bit. When my parents downsized, they had these Frederick Remington collector plates of Native Americans. I don't know if you can see with the glare. They're not worth much, but they are, I think they really match in here. And the color of the wall is kind of a dark beige. On this wall is some collage art by an artist named Anne Baldwin, and these are numbered prints of her art. now Chipper's eating his soft toy with the crinkle paper inside it. So if you look carefully, it's a collage of books and words. So if you look really carefully, you can see there's literally pages of books that make up this collage. On the opposite wall, I have these prints. These are prints by an artist named Michelle Delacroix, and I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. But these are folk art images of Paris. And Michel Delacroix is a French artist. And so these are just prints of artwork. And they're of Paris. This is the Grand Hotel in Paris. And then on the other wall, I have another print by the same artist of Paris. This one has a little carousel, which is so cute. So these were art. This was all artwork. The book art and the prints are all art that my uncle had in his house. So when he passed away, my brother and sister and I took art we wanted. So this was what I took. And I think it really goes well in this room. See, Chipper likes that bed. It's like a little canoe bed. He likes to lie in there and eat his toys. And then Scout likes to eat his ears. So I really think the art goes well in here. That light we got from Home Depot about maybe 15 years ago. It's just a floor lamp. In the corner of this room is a piece of furniture built for a corner. I don't know, this was left by the previous owner, this piece. I don't know if her husband made it because he liked to do woodworking or if it's old. It fit perfectly in here. I keep some decorative items that I'm not using in there. I usually put a little decoration on it or a wreath. And there's a little, on top is a little bouquet of silk flowers. And then there's the closet. And it's not a big closet, I'll show you. So there's this reclaimed wood door. It's just a closet of shelves. I just keep a lot of decorations and extra blankets in here right now. It's not really, there's some books. There's nothing really much in this in this closet. That's a nice closet to have for extra decorations. We had these shades installed. I wanted to be able to see outside in this room, but still have a little bit of privacy. So that way, there's no direct sunlight coming in here, but we can still see out, and there's somewhat sense of privacy. This is one of my favorite places in my house. My dogs also. I like to sit on this side of the couch, watch TV, have the dog snuggling on me. Sometimes I'll sit here and I'll cross stitch and they'll play in their bed or they'll play in the other room. I call this room my womb because it's small, it's warmer than the rest of the house, and I like to come in here in the morning and just come in my womb and snuggle in on my couch and watch TV for a little while, have some coffee, and get ready for my day. So this is my little personal womb. And Joe even calls it that now. He's like, oh, you're in your womb. I'm like, yep, I'm in my womb, in my little TV room, off the kitchen, you know, snuggled in here, nice and warm. I'll read books in here also sometimes. I'll talk on the phone in here. So this is another room that does get a lot of use in our house. So there's not a lot of rooms in my house that don't get a lot of use, except maybe the guest room. Even though I have my craft desk in the guest room, we don't use that room as often. Again, I don't really cross stitch in my craft room. Craft room is more for like painting crafts or other things like that, where I need a desk. But when I do needlework, I like to watch TV while I do needlework. So that's why I use this room more for cross stitching, which is why I keep my light in here. Chipper's eating Scout's ear. This is their favorite activity. This is a sign they're ready for their nap. But I'm washing their bedding, so they can't go in their bed. They're going to have to take a nap in their outside of their nest. So thanks for joining me for this tour of my television womb. or room. I'm curious what you guys think. Do you think that the television should be in the center of your house, in like a great room where everybody can gather? Or do you prefer something like this where you put the television in a, in a smaller room off your main living room? I know that now the trend is to have big great rooms with televisions in them. The only drawback about a room like this is that if you want to have a Super Bowl party, this house wouldn't be good for a Super Bowl party because the way it's set up, the television's in this tiny room and there's only so many seats in here. So it's too small of a room to host a big party. But it works for us in this family. I hope you guys enjoyed this tour, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Say bye, Chipper. Say bye, Chippy. You want to say goodbye to everybody? Chipper and Scout are relaxing. It's nap time. Nap time for the puppies. They're looking at me because they're like, is it nap time? No. You're not going up to your nap. I'm watching your bedding. Bye.